6:04 a.m., Geneva. 6 armed officers are standing in your bedroom. The watch on your wrist is worth more than their combined annual salaries, except it isn't worth anything at all. It's fake. Every watch in this apartment is fake. So are the boxes, the papers, the warranty cards, and the 4.2 million euros that moved through your company last year. You're 28 years old. You have not slept. And the strangest part? 12 years ago, you were the person who could spot a fake in 4 seconds flat. So how does a 16-year-old apprentice, trained to protect authenticity, become the most hunted counterfeiter in Switzerland? To understand that, you have to go back to the exact second the idea entered your head. Level 1, the movement. Your hands are steady. They have to be. You're 16. Geneva. You're at a workbench in a watch repair shop the size of a parking space. A watchmaker named Henry took you on 6 months ago. You work after school, Saturday mornings, all summer. You earn almost nothing, 8 francs an hour. But you're learning something most people never touch. You hold a mechanical movement under a loop. 32 components, each smaller than a fingernail. A balance wheel oscillating 6 times a second, a hairspring thinner than a human hair. You feel precision more than you see it. Feel the difference between tight and seized? Henry says, without looking up. You adjust one screw a quarter turn. The movement starts ticking. Good. Then you glance through the shop window. Across the street, a man in a navy suit walks out of the Rolex boutique with a small paper bag. No hesitation. You saw the model earlier that morning. Submariner date. 28,000 euros. You look back down at the springs and steel in your palm. 28,000 euros. For this. Your hands stay steady, but something behind your eyes just moved. Level 2. The first fake. You're 18. You buy a battered Rolex clone off a market stall for 40 euros. That night, you take it apart on your bench. Every part laid out on a white cloth. You study the flaws like a detective. The spacing, the font on the dial, the loom, the polishing angles. Then you start fixing them. New dial, new hands, new crystal, new crown. 9 hours of polishing against Henry's reference books. It's not perfect, but it's close. Closer than 40 euros has any right to be. A week later, you drive 62 kilometers to a flea market in Lausanne. Black velvet box. A handwritten card. Vintage Rolex. Family inheritance. No papers. A man stops. He turns it over. He studies the dial for 5 full minutes. Then he counts 1,100 euros in cash into your hand. You paid 40 euros. You just made a 2,650% markup in 1 afternoon. You drive home with the money on the passenger seat and your hands shaking, not from guilt, from possibility. For the first time in your life, craftsmanship and money collided. And money won. Level 3, the factory. You're 20. You find a factory in Guangzhou. They ship samples, submariners, datejusts, GMT masters. You test them like an assassin. Magnification, UV light, case finishing, serial engraving. You mail back correction lists, page after page, and the factory improves, again, and again, and again. Then a sample lands on your bench that makes you stop. Not because it's perfect, because you, the kid who reads movements by feel, are no longer certain you'd catch it across a display counter. You order 200 pieces. Cost? 9,000 euros. That's 45 euros each. They arrive inside crates labeled electronic components. Fake boxes, fake papers, fake warranty cards. Fake everything. You sell all 200 in 6 weeks. Revenue, 160,000 euros. Cost, 9,000 euros. You quit the apprenticeship. Henry shakes your hand. You've got good hands, he says. A pause. Don't waste them. You smile. You don't tell him what you're building. Level 4, the Frankenwatch. You're 22, and you discover something more dangerous than a replica. A Frankenwatch. Fake case. Fake dial. Real Swiss movement. Here's the trick that changes everything. You buy genuine ETA movements through legitimate suppliers, then drop them into counterfeit cases. Now, the watch passes almost every test a buyer can throw at it. Weight, sound, accuracy, a 38-hour power reserve. The only way to expose it is total disassembly. And almost nobody disassembles a watch before they buy it. So the fake isn't pretending to be real anymore. Part of it is real. You've stopped forging luxury. You've started assembling it. You sell Rolex Daytonas for 8,000 euros. Your cost, 400 euros. You move 40 pieces a month, 320,000 euros in monthly revenue. At 22. You rent a top-floor apartment in Geneva for 9,500 euros a month. People ask what you do. Watch dealer, you say. Technically true, just not the way they picture it. Level 5. The network. You're 24. The operation stops being a person and becomes a system. 6 cities, 6 dealers. Dubai, London, Miami, Singapore, Hong Kong, New York. Not one of them has ever seen your face. To all of them, you are a single word. The watchmaker. You supply the inventory. They supply the buyers. Your top pieces are Patek Philippe replicas, hundreds of micro-corrections, refined over months. Every year, the gap between genuine and counterfeit shrinks by a fraction of a millimeter. Every year, your margins grow. The operation now clears close to 800,000 euros a month. So you build the cleanest part of the whole machine, a legitimate watch trading company registered in Zug. Offices, invoices, accountants. Dirty money walks in the front door as inventory purchases. Clean money walks out as sales revenue. From the outside, the system is beautiful. And for a while, from the inside, it feels bulletproof. Before we continue, my name is Calvin. We just launched this channel for people who love the stories behind history, the crimes, the craftsmen, the con artists that no one really talks about. If a story like this is your kind of thing, the best way to help us keep making them is simple. Consider subscribing. It's free, and it genuinely helps more than you'd think. All right, the watchmaker had just made his first million. Let's get back to it. Level 6, the collector. His name is Richard. He's 61, retired, London. He contacts one of your dealers looking for a Patek Philippe Grandmaster chime, a watch whose real value runs into the millions. Your version costs 45,000 euros. The dealer tells him it's genuine. Gray market, no papers. Richard wires the money the same day. The watch arrives on Christmas morning. He probably pours a drink. He probably calls his son in to see it. His son is a watch analyst. 30 seconds. That's all it takes. Dad, silence. This isn't real. Richard calls your dealer. Your dealer calls you. We have a problem. You refund the 45,000 euros that night, and you tell yourself, the refund fixes it. But money was never what Richard lost. Richard lost certainty. 40 years of collecting, and now every watch in his cabinet looks like a stranger. That's the thing counterfeits actually do. They don't just fake an object. They contaminate trust. By morning, you've already confirmed the next shipment. Level 7, the ghost. You're 26 now, and you've become something you never planned to be. Invisible. You've never met a single customer. You've never signed your real name to a single watch. Encrypted phones, rotated every 90 days. 3 passports. Payments split across shell accounts, so no single wire ever crosses 9,999 euros, 1 franc, under the reporting line. Your name is worth nothing because nobody has it. The watchmaker is worth everything because everybody wants him. You employ, indirectly, more than 40 people across 4 countries who have no idea who they actually work for. On paper, you are a mid-size watch trader turning over 10 million euros a year. You've built the perfect machine. You just haven't noticed it only has one setting, on. And a machine that can't stop is a machine waiting to break. Level 8. The exposure. Year 27 of your life. A Swiss newspaper runs an investigation inside Geneva's fake watch underground. 3 months undercover. Reporters bought watches, had them authenticated, and traced the supply chain back to you. The article never prints your name. It doesn't need to. Within 72 hours, Swiss police open a file. Interpol joins. Financial regulators start pulling your company apart year by year. Your accountant calls, voice tight. They're asking about the inventory. Answer them. They're asking where it came from. Silence. The problem was never the watches. The problem is the paperwork. For the first time in 9 years, you feel pressure, and the machine, still running, starts to shake. Level 9, the raid. 6 a.m., Geneva. You already know how this scene looks. You've been living inside it since the first frame. Your front door doesn't open. It disappears. Swiss Federal Police, Interpol, armed officers flooding the hallway. Hände hoch, hands up. Don't move. You're face down on the floor before you're fully awake. Handcuffs, search warrants, evidence bags. They seize computers, financial records, tools, and rows of watches. Hours later, a holding cell. Your lawyer arrives, opens the file, turns a page, then another, then another. Finally, he looks up. How long has this been running? 9 years. He closes the file. They have everything. For the first time since you were 16, you believe someone completely. Level 10, the trial. Federal Criminal Court, Zurich. The prosecution lays out the photographs first. Thousands of watches, Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet. Then the number that fills the room, 18 million euros in documented fraudulent sales. Then Richard takes the stand. He's older now, calm. He speaks softly. I spent 40 years building my collection. Silence. When I found out the Patek was fake, he looks down. I didn't lose the money. A pause. I lost confidence in everything else. He looks directly at you. I don't know what's real anymore. The jury deliberates for 2 days. Guilty, all charges, 7 years in federal prison, 3.2 million euros in restitution. Level 11, the bench, Puschwies prison, Regensdorf. You're 28. The company is gone. The money is gone. The watches are gone. Every morning you think about Henry. The shop the size of a parking space. The loop, his voice. Feel the difference between tight and seized. Then you think about Richard. Christmas morning. The exact second his certainty died. Then you think about the 16-year-old at the bench. The one holding a movement under magnification. 32 components. A hairspring thinner than a human hair. Henry taught that kid to recognize one thing above all else. The difference between real and fake. And that kid spent the next decade erasing it for everyone. Level 12, the difference. Here's what counterfeiting never actually destroys. Luxury. Luxury survives. The boutique's still open. The 28,000 euro submariner still sells. What disappears is confidence. The quiet, invisible thing that makes any of it mean anything at all. Somewhere tonight, another 16-year-old is sitting at a workbench in Geneva under a single lamp, learning the difference between craftsmanship and imitation. The exact difference you once understood better than almost anyone alive, until the money mattered more than the truth. You learned the difference between real and fake. Then you spent 10 years making sure nobody else could. But watches were never the most profitable thing a forger ever faked. In the next one, we follow the man who counterfeited something far harder to disassemble and far more expensive when it broke. Same bench, higher stakes.